Here's what you'll need to create a unique embroidered map that tells your story. Firstly, you'll need a girl and bird hanging or cushion, which will serve as your canvas. You'll also need a sharp pair of scissors and a Map Your Adventure embroidery kit. The embroidery kit includes a bamboo embroidery hoop, a bobbin with coloured thread, a needle threader, and a Map Your Adventures leaflet. If you've come to this page, you've probably already found these, so you're ready to get started. If you're working on a cushion, you'll need to remove the cushion pad. Just turn the cushion over and remove the pad from in between the two backing pieces of fabric. Take your embroidery hoop and turn the screw at the top anti-clockwise to loosen it so that you can separate the two halves. You want the screw to be undone about halfway so that the fabric will fit between the two halves of the hoop. You'll adjust this as you go, so don't worry about it. Place the smaller half on the table and turn your cushion cover over. Move the backing fabric out of the way, pick the cushion cover up and place it over the smaller hoop. You want the area that you want to work on to be in the middle so that you can stitch into it. Take the larger hoop and slot over the top. Loosen it if you need to so that the fabric can be trapped between the two halves. You'll need to make sure that no fabric from the back is trapped underneath like this, and just because this will make it more difficult to embroider. Tighten the screw at the top by turning it clockwise to make sure that the fabric doesn't slip from in between the hoops. You want the fabric to be quite taut. As you can see here, it's a little bit saggy, so that's going to be hard to embroider. So you need to pull gently on the fabric around the hoop just to tighten up the middle. If you tap the fabric, you want it to be springy and make a noise a little bit like a drum. It's a bit loose here, so I'm just tightening it up and then tightening the screw as well. That is about the kind of bounciness and springiness that you want for the fabric. If you're embroidering a map hanging, then obviously you don't have backing fabric to move out the way, so just loosen the hoop off, separate the two halves, and place the smaller hoop beneath the hanging and the larger hoop on top. You'll probably need the hoop slightly looser for this kind of thing because you've got two layers of fabric to encase, but you'll get the hang of it really quickly. Tighten it up to make sure the fabric doesn't move and you're ready to go. For the next stage, you need your needle threader, your sharp scissors, the coloured embroidery thread, and your embroidery needle. Wind off around 30 centimetres of thread from the bobbin and cut with some sharp scissors. The thread is made up of 6 strands. You can either work with all 6 at once, which I'll show you later, or you can split it into 2 sets of 3 strands and fold the thread in half. It's completely up to you and it depends how fine you want your embroidery to be. It's a little bit fiddly, but if you separate into 2 clumps of 3 threads and then untwist it so that the 2 halves separate like that, and then pull the 2 halves apart, then you will have separated the thread. It'll be quite bouncy and curly, but this will all even out while you're stitching, so that's fine. To thread the needle, wet the end of the thread and feed it through the eye of the needle. If you're finding this a bit fiddly, then you can use your needle threader. Take the needle threader and poke the tip of the wire, which is in a diamond shape, through the eye of the needle. Thread the embroidery floss through the diamond shape and pull through the eye of the needle. This just makes it a lot easier if you're struggling with threading the needle. You then need to pull the thread through so that it's folded in half and tie with a double knot at the end. snip off any excess just to keep the back of your embroidery neat. Second option is just to work with the thread as it is, so I'll show you how to do that. Unravel a bit more than 30 centimetres, say 40 or 50 centimetres from the bobbin and snip. Wet the end and thread it through the eye of the needle, and then pull through around 1/4 or 1/5 of the thread and do a double knot at the opposite end, the long end of the thread. You're now ready to start embroidering your cushion. If you're feeling quite confident in what you want to do, then go ahead. But if you'd like a bit more guidance on stitches or some ideas, then I've made some other videos for some simple stitches that I like to do. Just have a watch of those, create your own, take pictures of what you've done and send them to me. I'd really love to see them. I'm at girlandbird on Instagram, or you can email me at hello@girlandbird.com. I'm on Facebook as well, so just head over and share your creations.